24/7, 365.
We've been living by a code every day of our life. Like
24/7, 365.
we've been keeping things moving every day of our life. Like
24/7, 365.
we've been kicking these rhymes every day of our life. Like
24/7, 365.
we keep
Oh, God damn. Are you okay over there?
I'll be all right, man. All right, we'll start this off. This is Live by Code, a la mode. Sitting here with the one and only TFoxx, 2 X's. He is a comedian, a Marine, a Solid City native. But other than that, who is TFoxx?
TFoxx with 2 X's. It's a great question. I really don't know yet. And even though I might, identify as 29, I'm really about to be 44 next week. And I really still don't know who TFoxx is. He has a good heart. He's awesome at times when he want to be. But the biggest thing about TFoxx, I think, is that he's at an age to where he can accept accountability and take his faults, and try to make amends with it. Whereas I still think that accountability is something that a lot of other people need to grow up and start to understand.
Absolutely. So is this a new revelation, something that you kind of have grown into since your comedy started? Or is this something that you kind of learned about in the last, since you said something about 30, since about that time? Has that been the length of it?
No, that ain't been, no. I think it was a few years ago. I think it was whenever COVID had everybody locked down. And I think that at that time, I feel like everybody should have did soul searching, but I did a lot of soul searching because I had a lot of time on my hands and reflected on a lot of things and realized that in some situations, even though I might not have been in the wrong, that I had to let go for myself, accept accountability as in, maybe if I wouldn't have did this, some things wouldn't have went how they went, but also understanding that it also wasn't my fault. Not getting closure sometimes is closure. And I think that has been one big thing for me, whenever it comes to accountability. Don't get me wrong. I go back and look at some other situations and it was a million things that I could have did, but at the time I just chose not to do it. So, just making amends with that and understanding that life still go old. You know what I mean? So if it was a book or a manual on this shit, there'd be a lot of people that were really perfect that thought they were perfect.
Absolutely.
You know.
Absolutely. So with the I guess the accountability and the closure is very important for anybody. And that's another thing you don't realize you need until sometimes that chapter of closure is already passed. Like you said, sometimes no closure is the only closure you get. So have you, is there something in particular about those mistakes you want to jump on, or just, keep it as just you're maturing?
Right. And that's it, But just to anybody else, like, if you have looked at a situation with somebody, no matter how close y'all are or how close you were, and you done played back and did everything that you feel that you could do to right the situation and still not right it, you gotta, no closure is sometimes the best closure you can get, because it take two with any situation whenever it comes to certain things.
So we'll elaborate on that. So, like, really what you're saying with the closure is sometime it probably would have got y'all in worse of a relationship or even worse off.
And possible,
That's what I've come to figure out too. I turned 44. I'm about to be 45, and really
Yeah, really old.
A lot of stuff just really changes the perspective, especially when you got some death coming into play. Not necessarily I had a huge issue with a former MTTS member with the band West Norman. It's not like we had a lot of problems, but we had shit we should have discussed. And then him passing last year, both of us never took that opportunity to get that closure. I don't think it would have been any worse, but like hindsight shows me that I should have at least reached out a little more, because that meant something to me. So that self-reflection, even though I thought I had it handled, like,
right.
oh, I've got all the closure I need from certain people, then, death will really trigger that.
It changes it up, man, because it ain't no coming back from that.
No.
You know what I mean? So, like, you here wanting to explain now because of this, but when you had the opportunity, you have to kind of like, you know what, it's kind of my fault too.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
I feel you on that.
Yeah.
And that's the reason why, like I said, like now I don't try, like I know, like I said, as long as I know that I attempted, sometimes that shit work. A lot of times it ain't work. It's a lot of things with me that don't have to be so complicated. You know what I'm saying? But, sometimes people don't accept growth. And because they still here and you done elevated just a little bit, not even a lot. Now you better than they are. You know what I'm saying? And no, nigga, it's just growth. Like, like you should do that too. There's no reason to still be in this spot now. Just like with this comedy. If anything, one thing I've learned is that you gotta you gotta pick your battles wisely. You know what I'm saying? Because it's a lot of cliquey shit to me when it comes to comedy. And I haven't been in it very long. I started in January of last year on the front end of the film festival last year at the Flatiron. And, the crazy thing about that, I was thinking, like, the other day, fucking Neil and Jeremy were the first two people to ever critique me because they were there for the Cosmic. And, like, all that go full circle. You know what I'm saying? Like, nah, you need to go to the idiot box. You know what I'm saying? And then that first night I go, I feel like they put me on a flute because it was a whole bunch of old senior citizens getting in the van when I got there. I'm dead ass. I can't make that shit up. No, I was like, these motherfuckers set me up. Right. You know what I'm saying? And then I went back the next week. And it was there. And I was like, oh, it's really an open mic here. And then they showed up again. Yeah.
That's right. I forgot.
So really not thinking about that, when we did the 20-year thing a few weeks ago, not even thinking about that. But then going back later on and thinking about it, because, like, bro, like, that shit was really surreal the other week because, like, it really didn't hit me. Okay, so, like, me, I was really high. I can't speak for everybody else,
right?
But I was extremely fucking high. I had never realized that it was pictures and shit, a deal behind us when we was on the stage until I saw the pictures.
The whole time?
Like, the whole time, I never saw that shit. And so, like, I'm looking at the shit the next day, right? And I'm like, wait a minute. I was like, so they only put the damn lights with Neil on them behind Dusty and BJ. Asked old lady, I said, it's terrible. Was Neil's collage behind me? Motherfucker, yes. You are lying. It was not behind me. I never saw it.
Right.
So that's
hard to see that, on the stage, though.
So going back and seeing that,
yeah,
and then realizing that some of them pictures was from the shit we did in November at the Sunset, and realizing that, like, the last time we were here, like, that motherfucker was here. Like, it was weird at the UCC this year.
I could imagine.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because, like not to see him nor Jeremy, because Jeremy's not, he gone now.
Yeah, he
apparently he
Arkansas or something
somewhere,
like this,
you know. But big ups, you know, because I understand, you know what I'm saying, because like, but it was weird, you know what I'm saying, you know, not to know that they wasn't gonna be there,
right?
But
they were
knowing
like staples,
right? Because anytime you went to an open mic at the Idiot Box, they were there. You know what I'm saying? So it was just kind of a surreal moment, because like I remember everybody else giving a story about Neil, and I never told one.
Well, it didn't hit, like you just said.
Right, and I didn't think about it. Yeah.
Well,
so like I kind of felt bad about that shit, but I was like, he know in spirit.
Yeah.
Because he here. You know what I'm saying?
Well, sometimes, you know, we get so wrapped up into things, it's not intentional that you forgot about that. I forgot about it. I just remember them. That was their first show as Cosmic Panda.
Okay.
That was their first.
See, I didn't realize that.
That was their first time doing that. So, and you know, he was always that person I would tell you about. Like, I got a homeboy that does this, and I think that it would be a good fit. So, like, fitting you in there. And then like you're saying that, I remember him like saying, you got the format, and I said, he really isn't writing right now yet.
No, I don't even know how.
He said he got the format, he's got the presence. You know, he's I think you kind of even put the pressure on him a little bit for the first Sunset joint. I mean, not the first, but like the couple days after that when they actually performed at the theater.
Right.
Because that was split up into 10-minute slots throughout the festival.
Right.
And like he dropped the ball a little bit, and he was like, man, this is it turned up in my city. And you know, it's nice.
Right.
But yeah, like that was 18 months ago. So that's your run so far.
Right.
And that's a hell of a run. Like every time that I check on the internet and I'm looking on whatever kind of platform, you know, I see a date, you know, and that's you know, that's a good thing.
Right.
And it's in different cities. So like just kind of go through as, you know, fast or slow as you want to about that these last 18 months.
It's been fast. Like a lot of the crazy thing about it is that, you know, last year I didn't know I was navigating myself. So like I, you know, obviously starting to understand, and I still know that I don't understand a whole bunch at 18 months. You know what I'm saying? But still, 18 months ago I didn't know the shit that I know now. You know what I mean? But it's been a very interesting road, I say. But just at the beginning, the problem was not having no tape. Everybody wants to see tape. You know what I'm saying? Not having the social media thing set up because I was set in my ways and shit. And now going from just Facebook, now I have a Snapchat and Instagram and a TikTok and a YouTube, and like understanding that I have to have that because that's my tools on how I work when it comes to this comedy. Like for real, like you got to be online and have an online presence. You know, no matter how much stand up you do, you still now. You know what I'm saying? You got to have an online presence. So, like, still not posting enough like I should be. But knowing, again, taking accountability and knowing that's my fault. You know what I'm saying? But I'm going to work on it. Yeah. And I have been working on it. And I've gotten a little bit better. But having tape at the beginning and learning how to write and not having no help. You know what I'm saying? Not really asking nobody because it was like real cliquish. You know what I'm saying? And I hate to say that. I don't single anybody out. I don't have a problem with anybody, but it was real cliquish whenever, you know, and so like feeling that out and realizing that even though I couldn't see it at the time, that I'm getting better because it's making these motherfuckers more mad. Less wanting to talk to me, not wanting to hold a conversation. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying?
First
that's how it was. And I'm like, that's how I know I'm getting better, even though I didn't see it in myself, because at the end of the day, I'm my biggest critic. Oh, I didn't like that shit. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, just over time, going back, looking at that, rewriting and learning how to write, and then learning that you got to go back and rewrite jokes. And then, honestly, bro, like at 6 months last year, after going out in the first round of the comedy competition, and then after having like 2 bookings, I felt like I was failing. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck this shit. And then one night I went to the O, which is
Greensboro.
Greensboro West Market. They have an open mic every Tuesday. Never knew about this mic. I only knew of one mic in Greensboro, and then the ones in Winston-Salem. So that's the ones I went to. And I go to Charlotte occasionally, and found out about this mic. And I pulled up. This is like July now. So, like, all from January to like May, I'm all right. And then like June, because like I ain't got a booking. I ain't got nothing to do. I'm just doing open mics. Everybody keep giving me a timeline in the places that I'm going, but nobody can specify why I need that timeline when I know that like I can be on a show, considering that some of y'all motherfuckers is on a show and y'all not that fucking good just because y'all got some time in. You know what I'm saying? And I hating on nobody. You know what I'm saying? But understanding that and going in the O that night, doing, again, realizing that the reason why the other places I was going, motherfuckers wasn't laughing is because my jokes were funny in there. I didn't realize this until I went in the O that night and they laughed the whole time. Like, bro, I wasn't even gonna go do it. I called my old lady. That is the only reason I went in there. And she was like, you already there. Like, why the fuck are you not gonna go in there and at least try?
Right. Does it seem to be more fans at the O than there are comedians?
It's just it's about the same amount of comedians.
Okay.
It's about the same amount of crowd. It's not even that it's different. It ain't even that it's comedy. It's stand up. It's an open mic. It's the same thing. You know what I'm saying? But sometimes it may be more comedians to audience at certain places. You know, and then you cliquish. Yeah. So you're only gonna laugh at the jokes of the people that you fuck with.
This seems very similar to the hip hop.
And I'm about to say, and then like just being around that shit, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But what I want to say is, had it not been for Steph Funny and Juwan Cap that night, bro, like I wouldn't have kept doing comedy. I was quitting, bro. I wasn't going to do it no more.
June, about a year ago.
July. Like it was in the June about yeah. Because I hadn't went to an open mic in like 2 weeks, so yeah, it might have been like the end of June.
Word, and I just saw you have another date soon, or was that last week you just did up at the O?
That was last Tuesday. Okay. I hosted last Tuesday. Yeah.
That's awesome. To go from, in a year from doing that to hosting it I think that's a huge step.
Right. But like I said, it's probably about like hip hop. People think that it's easy because you funny. You tell. No, it's you know what I'm saying? You could be that guy and still not get nowhere because you don't know the right people. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Or be in the right rooms.
Right. Or show that you are really honing what you're doing. Because it's an art at the end of the day. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And it's all about how you paint your shit.
Yeah. And it seems like, sorry to cut you off, but it seems like the comedy is a little bit different with getting the same people back in the venue over and over again. Like, I think that's been since the comedy was starting, where you got people that are usually if you go to this club you're gonna see Richard Pryor, or if you go in this club you're gonna see whoever. You know what I'm saying? Like because they're usually there every whatever night for months and months and months.
Right.
So it seems like that's a little different. Let's backtrack for a second with your social media, kind of the battles you've had with that. Now, this is something new for me working with comedians because, you know, I've talked to them, sat with them, but like I never really started filming them until you. And then, you know, so then I filmed everybody that was in my events. And then I learned that there's some things that they don't want out there public. So is this like that? Is that another whole battle that you got to figure out to where like, I've got this material, I really don't want it out there, so I don't know how to put it out there?
See, yeah, that's a difference because motherfuckers steal jokes. It's sad, bro. Like, a nigga can steal somebody's, like, bars, but if they repeat them, they gonna be like, nigga, that was from that song and this dude. But, like, with jokes, again, because there's so many different forms of this art. Everybody has a lane. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's comedians that can sell out arenas that you've never heard of. But any hip-hop artist, you're going to know who it is. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, because of social media, though. Back in the day, it was like that because it wasn't no social media. You know what I'm saying? Like, they used to have comedy records.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, the social media thing, in a way, has made it harder for true, real stand-up comedians. You know what I'm saying? Nigga do these skits, go viral, because the skits are funny. They are entertaining. You know what I'm saying? And then get on the stage, and you realize you're not really funny.
Yeah.
You know,
funny in this format,
right? But
yeah.
see, that's why I say it's just it's an art like hip hop, but it's so many different forms of it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I met the Health. His name is Health. He's the owner of like all the comedy zones, right?
Okay, yeah, I know who you're talking about.
I met him when I auditioned for the hosting spot in Cherokee, right?
Got you.
And he said that the reason why comedy zones don't have a competition is because it's too many forms of it. Like, how can you judge and nobody's form is the same? He was like, so, like, it's not fair to judge an art form. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
So,
I agree. That's kind of what they were talking about with this Nas Jim Jones thing. I mean,
like,
totally different art
like,
form.
y'all, like, and it's only, y'all sit here, and Jim Jones is telling you, like, he appreciate y'all for letting him go viral. Because he just wanted the viral moment.
Yeah.
And it's okay.
Yeah.
Any attention is good attention sometimes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like, you can go Google that, all you with Nas's stuff, and see how much for the law.
Blaring.
Right.
Yeah.
The big difference amongst y'all. You can do that, but, like, instead, y'all, him and Shannon Sharp, boy, that was funny.
Yeah, that was. I saw that one too, man.
That was funny, yo.
Yeah. Then he was like, he was trying to, get it together, but he, he's like, well, maybe I was smoking. Maybe I was smoking.
It was funny.
Yeah. So, Cherokee. Let's talk about that. That's a long ride. How did you get that opportunity?
I had to go in an audition, but before that, Ben Jones, shout out to him. Okay. He shared a post of them wanting or needing. They were trying to get some new hosts in on a regular rotation. You know what I'm saying? And they wanted to get 10 comedians to audition. So I sent the clip. I just took a chance. Sent the email to the owner. And then I sent the clip, and the crazy thing about it is that, like, she responded right away, and she was like, "You're in. The audition is this day, this time, blah blah blah, right?" And then, like, I was like, "Man, this shit ain't real. I feel like it's a scam, right?" And then, like, the next day, she sent another email, and this is funny. She's like, "You realize that this is in Cherokee, and that the pay is gonna be such and such, and it's only the nights that you work, and you only guaranteed 2 nights or 3 nights a week, and they might not be all side by side." And I was like, you know what? This might be real. Yes, nigga, I know this is 3.5 hours away, but I also know what I need to do. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
You get in the comedy zone as a host or as anything.
Yeah.
You know. So anyway, so I responded back. Yes, I know that. I'm good with that. Okay, just making sure. See you on such a. Okay, so it's real. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So went up there. It only ended up being 7 comedians that showed up. I didn't know any of them. I had never met none of these people. You know what I'm saying? But 7, they picked 2. I wasn't picked, but it was a great experience. It was because it was a dry room. I've never done comedy. Like, I've done, like, skits and lives and stuff at home all by myself. And I've done, like, virtual comedy competitions online, you know, just being in there. But inside of a club, and there's nobody in there. They didn't have no audience. So we auditioned in front of Health, the club manager, and the host that is hosting right then and there. You know what I'm saying? Because apparently he's getting more bookings and he needs some help. So we auditioned basically in front of them and the other 6 comedians. So
it was a legit, like,
it was. I've never, like,
audition.
it was a real audition, and it was close, but the one thing that a host is supposed to say is the one thing that I didn't say out of everything. You hosting something, what is the first thing that you say?
Your name.
And then what else?
Where you at?
I never said where it was at.
Yeah.
I never said that it was at the fucking Comedy Zone at the Cherokee or Harrah's Casino.
Was that feedback that they gave you, or that's okay?
And that's the feedback that Health himself gave me, and said that it was so close. That's what, because it took them like 10 minutes to decide. Yeah. They like went out. They were sitting back there writing notes, and I never saw none of this until the end. Okay. When I got, because I went like, there was 7 of us. I went like 6th.
Okay.
So I didn't realize it until the end, and then somebody else the other guy showed up, and he was 7. That's what it was. Yeah, he was 7. So I happened to just look back there at them and realize, I was like, oh, they were taking notes on everybody and everything. Like, this was like a real deal. Like, I didn't know that. You know what I'm saying?
That's valuable information right there.
Right. And then the fact that you just surprised and he wasn't supposed to have been there, but he made time to be there, as busy as he is. You know what I'm saying? So not knowing him, but then asking about him and realizing who I met in itself, that was knowledge. But he told me himself that it was a close third. He said, y'all was so close. And then realizing that was what cost me, because I had it every other way. Got you know what I'm saying? And then I realized that I was funny. Then I realized that I was funny in front of important white people. You get what I'm saying? I know that I'm funny, but I also know that I'm not a complete stand-up comedian because I don't have enough time in the game. But I also have people in my pocket that have a lot of time in the game. You know what I'm saying? Like, a lot of people don't know. And that's another reason why I think that a lot of other comedians look at me differently. Is I'm not like, bro, like, you know me, I'm not no fucking cocky person. But I feel like a lot of times things get took out of context just because people look at me and be like, how is he able to do this and that? Because, like, some of these shows is only because of people that I knew, and they were giving me a chance because they saw potential in me that I didn't see. But they had that pull. You get what I'm saying? Yeah. So I can't be mad at that. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can't be mad at me for that because you don't have, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. I understand that you got the time in. I understand that you will be on flyers, but it's not the quantity of the flyers. It's the quality of the event. You know what I'm saying?
And like you said, who you know, does it seem like they almost feel like you've kind of cheated some kind of system to get there because of however you
Not
get
necessarily cheated, but just sometimes it's kind of how is he getting that, or how is he doing that, and certain people that I might be on a show with, like how, you know what I'm saying, and just kind of the. But if you came and asked me, I'd probably tell you, because I don't have a problem with nobody. I want to see everybody win, because in comedy, everybody can go their separate lane, and everybody can eat and have fun, and we can work together. You know what I'm saying? But just people want to work with the same people over and over and think that's a flex. You know what I'm saying? But it's because it's possible that all of us could help and benefit each other.
Right. From the outside of this, looking in from the events that I've been to, or any comedy events, but now that I'm more more aware of it, it's exactly what you said. Very cliquish, very segregated. Even though everybody is doing the same venues, Greensboro does seem to be very, very, very cliquish.
And then from my understanding, if you go other places, it's kind of like that if you hang out there a while, too.
Yeah.
I can tell you Charlotte ain't like that.
Yeah.
I can tell you Charlotte ain't like that. And the only thing I hate about not being, because it's so fucking far away in a sense. Like, bro, 85 is lonely as fuck at goddamn boy, 2 o'clock in the morning, and coming down that motherfucking dark, man. That is a lonely ride all by yourself. It don't matter if it's an hour or an hour and a half. Yeah. It don't matter if it's 45 minutes. It is
extra 20 minutes sometimes be
it is a lonely, like, bro, I just can't do it, man. Yeah. You know, I mean, because
they've been working on 85 since I was 5 years old, too.
Right. But that ain't even the construction. It's so dark and lonely. Like, bruh,
there's a high risk of
anything. And I just
any kind of accidents.
And that's like my whole thing. But I will tell you this: August 1st, I'll be in Roanoke.
Really?
Yeah, I'm going to Roanoke, Brian.
Coffee pot or something?
Nah, this is it's the Versus place. It's called the Versus or something. I don't know I don't know if they've been having them every year, but another comedian friend, he posted a flyer, and it was reshared and said that they were looking for comedians. And so again, like, bro, because like now again, when I talked about the footage before, now I have footage. You know what I'm saying? So basically, I just and either you'll say yes or you'll say no. Just like in hip hop, you got to get used to fucking no, or not hearing a response, or it's already been it's just part of the game. Like, you didn't make the cut, but instead of getting upset about that, work on your shit, because it's always room for improvement. You can never be perfect at this shit.
You never the best.
You can't. No. Yeah. Even the best know that they ain't the best. You know what I'm saying? That shit, it's all about the time. Yeah. You know, but I enjoy it though. It's the first thing that I've actually enjoyed doing. Like,
really,
I'd had a million jobs. Like,
job wise, it's the first thing you've enjoyed doing.
Say what?
Job wise,
like as far as job, like I could get paid doing this. Yeah. I just ain't really got paid yet. Like I have, and you know what I'm saying. You know,
I know exactly.
I'm
sitting there like 20 years later,
like, and that's the crazy thing. Some of these motherfuckers hate me because they said, no, nigga, I'm doing this shit for free. Like, I'm driving 2 hours to a fucking show when I went to Spartanburg. Yeah. Like, the only reason that I made anything off that is because I won the competition. Had I not won the fucking competition, I would have went down there for free. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. But, like, that's what you got to do, though.
It's an investment.
It's an investment in yourself. So, if you don't think that you're going to have to spend some money doing something you love and not necessarily something that you could tolerate,
Right.
you might want to rethink it because you're not gonna be able to take that shit seriously, bro.
That gets me even to this day about that mentality, because there's a lot of people in this entertainment industry crossing all genres that think that they're worth more than they are, so they won't do the shit. And you can put in decades in this shit and still not be worth what you think you are.
Right.
But that doesn't make you worthless.
No, it don't make you worthless.
Now,
But
you
you
gotta get rid of
just,
this fire.
I don't know what the fuck that
And
is.
keep on
That
going.
motherfucker's riding over here with me. I'm over here sweating like a hooker in church.
But yeah, that drives me really crazy, because I've had conversations, I've had arguments with people when I give CDs away for free, or if I do shows for free and people know about it, because they say it fucks them up. No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't.
No.
If I know that I'm gonna pack a venue out, then I know I need to get some money. If I know that these people already know my music and know the worth of that music, I'm gonna ask them for $10 for a CD. But if they interested in it and they never heard it before, here you go. I'm gonna give you this CD.
Right.
And then it gets so confusing to people, because you're like, I just saw you charge somebody. Are you gonna charge me? Have we heard my music before? Yes. You already know when people are on your radar. So like that really always irks me, is when people are like, oh, you're just doing this shit for free. They kind of negate your quality of you, and they try to make it to where like you're not worth,
Right.
But fuck
Right.
all that. Fuck, like that gets me really upset, man.
This is the thing right here. This right here, you better come and see me now when this shit is free. When it is $10, $20. Because I can assure you, it's only a select few to where when I get to where I want to be, and these tickets is a certain price, it's only a certain few that's going to be allowed to, and that's the motherfucker, and I know who it is. I don't have to give a shot. That's what, I don't have to do that with these particular people, because the motherfucker, at the end of the day, you know if you've been there or if you ain't been there.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? You know if you attended or if you ain't attended.
Right.
You know that. So you should know that, if one day I'm telling jokes somewhere and the tickets are $100 damn, that you should know that whether, you know what, I probably, if I would go see it, I just well to go just pay this, because I know that I ain't supported nothing when it was free.
Right.
It's going to be your loss.
Yeah, that gets me so, like, I'm not saying that you've got a good grasp on it, and you're, like you've said, kind of young in the industry.
But I'm glad I'm at I'm glad I'm at the age to where I can understand it from like an older perspective, because I'm like, if I had gotten this shit at 25, nigga, I'm about to rob you if you don't pay me, because I ought to be getting $20,000 a show, and I ain't shit. You know what I'm saying? Like realizing, but being in front of the right people and having the right people support you in this shit. Well, it don't have to be loud. Yeah. So a lot of people don't know, you know what I'm saying? And it ain't nobody business. You know what I'm saying? People can assume like they do, but I know that I have people that I can reach out to if I really have a question, whereas a year ago I didn't have that shit. You know what I'm saying? But like if it's something serious, like, you know what I mean? Like with certain shit, like, hey, this, that, and the other. Should I do this? Like, the only reason that I agreed to that, to even do that audition in Cherokee after we had the conversation, I waited because I need to talk to somebody and ask them if it was really worth that 3.5 fucking... In my head, I'm like, I'm going up here and get this shit.
Yeah.
I also thought it was going to be a crowd, too. You know what I'm saying? I also had to do clean comedy for the very first time in my life, because I didn't realize that you can cuss, but not like my normal cussing. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's not like my normal how I talk. So I had to tone that shit down. So, like I said, I had to get approval just to make sure it was worth it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because it wasn't no money.
Yeah.
You know, you basically get a hotel room for the night that you're there or whatever. You know what I'm saying? And it's a couple of dollars. You know, you might get some tips. So it wasn't for the money, but
That's
it was
just
for
the audition itself.
No.
Oh,
That's
if
what
you-
it would have been
okay,
recurring
okay,
each
gotcha.
night. You know, you got paid each night.
Yeah.
You might only do one night.
Yeah.
So I might have had to drive up there for 4 hours, 3.5
Right.
hours for one night and come back the next
Right.
day. But it was worth the reps, is what I was, the advice I got. You can get on that stage and this is going to be free and you getting paid for it. Take advantage of all that. He said, and the person said, it's the Comedy Zone.
Yeah.
At some point in time, somebody go come in there and see you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So, but congratulations to the two guys that did get it. I mean, you know, they earned it. Like I said.
Have they offered that opportunity again, or is that kind of...
No, but somebody else told me to, what I ain't been doing is selling myself.
It's hard.
And
man.
when I say that again, it's all the people that have booked me on the show, sending availability every month, and taking the time to also send you another link just in case you need another clip of we already booked me one time. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But just not being in the habit of that.
Yeah, that's
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
And then starting to include, you know, other places that I've seen little things and them taking bookings and stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Right,
So just me, but just moving at my own pace also.
It's really hard to the age we are. It's been, me and Marshall were talking about this, and then I was just talking with Laura about it on the way to Boone, about how many times that we've had to reinvent ourselves and reinvent the game, because the game keeps on changing so much.
Right.
And like I'm seeing that it could be it runs you so thin. So what you're just talking about right now is essentially you should try to, you know, this is not should, but I would encourage you to find somebody that could help you be your publicist to do that shit for you.
And that's why I see we got to start getting paid for to get a publicist. But that is what the first.
That's bro.
Yeah. That is the.
Yeah.
I said as soon as it
You ain't
is.
got no young folks that
They
want
don't
to
want
take
to
that.
learn, bro. Yeah, you know,
There is no
unfortunately.
finish line.
But we're gonna get it figured out,
Yeah,
though.
that
We'll get it figured out.
24/7, 365.
We've been living by a code every day of our life. Like
24/7,